you may know or may not know, this is Ashley, and she is our diamond leader with Young Living. And she came all the way from Chesapeake, Virginia to be here with us and help me teach this class. So it's a super special evening. She just recently retired her husband after 24 years in the Navy. So that is something special and something to be said about how amazing Young Living is and the things that you can do with it, besides just, using and loving your oils. So you're knowledgeable, passionate. I love you. You changed my life, my family's life, and we love you.
Jeez. So Lacey's an amazing leader. Can I just start the class by telling a part of her story that she might not like it? We didn't know each other at all, and she was on on speakerphone at a class I taught. Literally, the phone was laying on the coffee table, and my friend Lacey, and I'm like, I don't know who you're talking about. She's but then she couldn't actually be on the call because she has 19,000 kids, like me too. I don't know how many I have. They just keep popping out of nowhere. I don't know what happens. So no, but it was just really neat because she started doing this and sharing because she has a life change story that happened with her family that I didn't know about. I didn't know why she started doing the business. She just kind of was like, hey, I'm sharing with people and it's awesome. And so us connecting, it's just been amazing. And God has great plans for your life when you just open up to it, because for us, we've gotten to travel to Winter Harvest and do that together and be part of the distillation process of oils. We've gotten to go to convention. I've gotten to know her family. It's just been such a neat thing that we would have never known each other if it weren't for someone that she knows introducing her. So whoever's here with you today and brought you, I want you to say thank you to them, because that means they really care about your health and wellness, and they're truly invested in you as a person, because they didn't bring you, and there's nothing wrong with parties that are just fun, but they didn't bring you somewhere that's just fun. They brought you to a class. And, we have food, and we're going to do some color matching with the makeup, and it will be fun, but it really is going to be an evening where we get to come together and think about our health goals, and think about wellness, and think about really what you can do to be the best you possible. And I believe we're all created for greatness and not for mediocrity, and our bodies are designed to be whole and well, and we get to come together and learn a little bit more about that and be empowered with our health. So I love what I get to do. I hate traffic, and I keep complaining about it, and it was terrible yesterday. But I'm glad that I'm here, because it's an honor to be with people that I don't really get to know. I mean, joking and saying I know a lot of you from your Facebook names, but meeting real people and connecting and seeing you all bring your friends here, it's just such an honor to get to do that. And I don't really know that I call this a job. I think that's crazy. I also have a problem with talking too much. Welcome to my life. So I will attempt to hold a script. Lacey reminded me that I wrote this script, and I was like, wow, it's really good. I haven't used it in so long. I'm like, I looked at it, I'm like, who wrote this? She's like, you wrote it. I'm like, yeah, of course I did. Of course I did. So y'all can just laugh at me, but like anybody in here, I've been doing this for 3 years. We got started using oils because my oldest now actually just had some skin irritations and some things that we wanted to use oils for, and I also wanted to really get rid of toxins in my home. I was cloth diapering, making baby food, doing all kinds of stuff that I knew how to do, but I didn't know how to get rid of, the baby lotion I was using, and I didn't really know how to get rid of the stinky laundry that I had in my house, and I didn't really know how to help me feel better in the morning when I woke up, as far as waking up right and actually feeling like you're alive and awake. So we'll talk about diffusing things for that. So for us, we started off slowly just integrating things in our health regimen, and now we use them for everything from cooking to cleaning. We use them for supplements. We use them in our workout routines, and then with all 3 of our kids, we use the oils a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold this to keep me on track, but I do want you to do something. You can either write it down or take a note in your phone or just take a mental note, but I want you to think about your goal for being here. Your goal for being here. Is there an area that you want to focus on? Is there a question you have about oil usage? Are you here because you have somebody with you that you're so excited to introduce oils to? Are you here for community? Are you here for friendships? What are you here for? Are you even here to improve your emotional health? Support your mood? Doesn't always have to be a physical need. So just think about that and write it down, because in life, we get what we expect. And if you expect to learn what it is that you came here with a question about, at the end of the class, you will have either learned it or you'll get to talk one-on-one to someone that can help you. So I just want to make sure that's something that's important to me, that you use your time, and I want to value your time in that way. All right, my favorite part of the class, totally kidding about that, is the disclaimer. I am not a medical professional, and neither is Lacey, or actually there's some of you in here that probably are, but in this setting, you're not, right? When you're not when you're not in that medical setting, you're not the medical professional. So I am not a medical professional. I'm not here to diagnose, treat, prescribe, or cure. I'm only here to give you education and information, and I hope that if you have any questions that are of a medical nature, that you would talk to your doctor, but we will do our best just to share things that are things we've used personally and things we use to overall support great health. And I love to talk about being above the wellness line. So the wellness line is like where you wake up every day, how you feel, how your normal body state is. So I never want to talk about what happens below that wellness line, because I really believe every day I can get better and better. So every day we can improve our health, not simply like preserve where we're at. So that's really what we're talking about, is that vibrant health, that life above the wellness line. The class will last about an hour. We're going to try to make it a little shorter than that. Then we will have in between some color matching with Savvy Minerals, chance for all of you guys in here that have yet to get your starter kit to get started, and then we'll come back and do our business introduction class and still be out of here by at least 10 p.m. Totally kidding. Totally kidding. So just wanted to keep you guys on your toes. All right, so what are essential oils? Essential oils are highly concentrated molecules that are part of plants that are what I like to describe as the lifeblood of the plant. And that means that they actually, in the plant, they have 3 jobs, and they are there to heal, restore, and protect the plant. And they do that on a daily basis. The plant doesn't have a nervous system. They don't have emotions that I know of. Maybe some of your plants cry. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes my cucumbers cry if we leave them outside too long and don't pick them. But the thing is, with plants, they really have this very intelligent design where the essential oils are the life-sustaining force, and they do those 3 jobs of healing, restoring, and protecting. So I want you to think through that a little bit, and I want you to think about, for me, that what I always picture when I think of essential oils and how they work in the plant is we get our grass cut. My husband cuts my grass. I'm like, I don't cut my grass, so I hate to say I do, but in my house, when the grass gets cut, the goal isn't to kill the grass. The goal is to take part of the height off the grass, then have it actually restore itself and grow again, so it stays that vibrant health, that vibrant wellness within the plant, where it's going to regrow itself. So their job and what they do they were designed to be plants that give us amazing properties. We were able to eat them, we breathe from plants, all kinds of awesome things. So what the essential oils do in the plant, just want you to think about their job and what they can do in our bodies if that's what they do in the plant. They are made from shrubs, trees, bark, resin, any part of the plant you can imagine. Different oils are made from it, and we'll talk about the distillation process in just a minute. But they were first mentioned in the Bible, and I love this, in Genesis chapter 37, when Joseph was sold. He was sold to the slave traders. That's the first mention in the Bible, and they're mentioned in the Bible over 600 times. A lot of times in the Bible when it talks about oil, I used to think it was olive oil, and upon further research, it's frankincense they talked about a lot. So frankincense was used a lot, and it's referenced many, many times. It's also referenced in Egyptian hieroglyphs and research about that, and Babylonian tablets, so even pre-biblical times. So a lot of people are like, oh, essential oils are new, and I love when people say it to me because it's such a great opportunity that I'm like, no, we actually just forgot about them, and we forgot about how to use them. And I bet you a lot of your great-grandmothers or even grandmothers used some form of herbs or oils prior to the 1940s, when we really started getting more prepackaged things in our stores. So quick science lesson. Hi.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Just there from North Carolina.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you're here. It's awesome. It's awesome. Give this girl free oil. Yeah.
No, I got my peace and calming on. I'm good.
Absolutely. It's nice and calming too. There you go. Why not? Because I like to give things out for free. It is true. I'm like, Lacey's like, shoots. So, with essential oils, they actually are able to penetrate our cells all the way at the cellular level, which means they can go into our cell membrane, and they can actually affect us at the cellular level. And I always pictured 9th grade science, and I'm sorry if y'all did not have a 9th grade science teacher like this, but I did. So I picture a giant cell, and on the outside of that cell, we have a cell membrane. And we have cell receptors on the outside of that cell, which allow things to get in and out. So they allow free radical cellular waste to get out. Think of them as little valves, and they allow great things like antioxidants and oxygen, and really if you have a great healthy diet and all the awesome nutrients that you're getting into your body, we want them in our cells, but they have to go through those cell receptors and get into our cells. So those cell receptors can get clogged by things like BPA on receipts, maybe plastic from a cup you're drinking out of, maybe plastic from a microwave meal. Maybe it's Vaseline, all kinds of things you could be using that, I don't say that to scare anyone, but what that actually does is we're not able to break down those molecules. They're really giant molecules that cannot actually fit. They don't necessarily fit through the cell receptor, they just clog it. So that means for a lot of us, that's a lot of this funky stuff that's happened in the past 20 years. And statistically speaking, in our country, we are just getting sicker earlier but living longer. So you can just figure that part out for yourself, how that works into your life or someone you know's life. So it's just different, right? We live longer, but we get sick with different things earlier. So going back to that chemical exposure and that chemical load in our cells, they coat our cell receptors, and then we can't really get that good stuff in and that bad stuff out. And like any good marriage, cells require great communication for us to know what's going on. So for you to know what's going on, I think of how I hate doing burpees. So I love to work out, but like I don't know anybody that likes burpees. I'm not really sure why they're created. I don't think they're very nice. And so I like to not do the push-up when I do a burpee. So no, I'm not going to do one. I was thinking about it. I was actually thinking about it, and then I didn't. So when you go down, I think that sometimes there's discomfort in my shoulder that I didn't used to feel. And I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. I didn't used to feel that discomfort. I have, doesn't matter. I was going to say personal health stuff. But when I feel that, I always am thankful I feel it, because I think several years ago I didn't feel it because my cells were not as healthy as they are. In other words, I didn't have great communication between my nervous system and my musculoskeletal system. So if this is over sciencey for anybody, I'm sorry, but I just want you to really think through how important that is in your body and how important it is for you as the keeper of this amazing body, the one and only body you were given. You have to know about how it works, and you have to know about how your cells function. So the cell receptors get clogged, have all this nasty junk in them, and then we have amazing essential oils that actually contain 40 billion trillion, I said the wrong number, 40 billion trillion molecules in one drop. That's more molecules in one drop of essential oil than cells in your entire body. That means they're super duper tiny, and they can go in and they can actually eat away at the things that are clogging your cell receptors. So think of them as powerful scrub brushes. I think of them as like in a car wash, you know how powerful that is, how it can like damage your paint. My husband won't let me take our newer car in there, but so they go through and they can eat away at that stuff, and they help clear that nasty stuff off your cells.
Really quick too.
And it's amazing. I mean, I always am like, that is amazing to me, because there's nothing that was made, that's man-made, that can do the same thing. So if you don't know anything about oils, then really, I could probably stop the class right now, and you should be like, okay, so I should figure out how to use those. I mean, not being funny, but that's really the most important part of the class, is like understanding how they work and how they were designed to work in our bodies, and how you can't really screw up using them. You could maybe use the wrong one, but like they're still going to benefit your body no matter what you use. And they do metabolize in our bloodstream. They go into our bloodstream from our skin in 26 seconds, and in 20 minutes they're able to penetrate every single cell in our bodies. And they also cross the blood-brain barrier, which is where our nervous system and our brain, that's the system it's housed in. So most things can't cross it, which means they don't actually have a lasting impact. Pretty amazing. So let me grab back. I love how somebody uses a script and I've already laid it down. It's pretty awesome. So with essential oils, and what matters even more than knowing how they work is knowing that in the marketplace where we are today, there are so many oils out there that are phony, fake, junk, and harmful. And I don't like to say words like that because it's not fun. And I also don't want you to think I'm actually not talking about any specific brand of oils. I'm saying in general, it's a billions and billions of dollar industry, and that is something new. So when I started using them, it's only been 3.5 years, and it was not the way it is today. As in, you couldn't buy essential oils at Bed Bath & Beyond and Every Bath and Best Buy, and probably gas stations. I don't even know. I mean, my husband keeps saying that like McDonald's Happy Meals are going to be scratch and sniff essential oils one day. I'm like, he's probably right. It'll be like a book about the farmer, and it'll be like scratch and sniff, because you just don't know. Because guys, that's what happens when something, when we know that something works, we actually have people imitate that, and they don't necessarily do it for a great reason. Because they penetrate your cells and because they cross your blood-brain barrier. Just do me a favor. And don't buy anything that you don't know where it's grown or where it comes from. If it has an expiration date, well, plants don't expire. How many of y'all have dried plant material that you've had like forever in your house that like roses from when you were in high school or something like that. And also, they do not go, when I say don't expire, it means they don't go rancid because they don't contain any fatty oils. They're actually, they evaporate right into the air, and they are going to be a lot different than anything that contains like an olive oil or coconut oil that can go rancid and can expire. And then the last thing is when it says, do not ingest for external use only. Well, friends, when you put them on your skin, you're really ingesting them. So I would never use an oil on my body or on someone that I care about that says for topical use only. I just would really worry about that because I know that they go into my skin and really affect me at the cellular level. So I personally advocate knowing thy farmer with a lot of things in my life. You know, we don't do it all right. I would say we're 80-20, like, 20%. We eat... I love how I'm like, we don't eat fast food. I'm trying to go, I'm like, we eat stuff. Like we have a donut shop that we love locally, and we would eat that. I wouldn't be like, oh, I don't know the farmer of the donut. Like, can't eat that donut. But the whole thing is, for me, when I go to a farmer's market, or we go buy, I think especially when we buy meat from, grass-fed beef or stuff like that, I know the farmer. Literally, like, I trust that if they say they grew their stuff in Surrey, Virginia, then I don't say, do you really have a farm there, sir? Like, I don't know if you do. No, because I'm looking at them in the face, and I know who they are. I trust them. And that's why it's so important to know where your oils come from, because it's stuff that affects your body in such an intimate way. And knowing where it comes from is important, again, because we have that huge industry going on where there's a lot of fake stuff out there and a lot of stuff that could be more harmful than good to your body. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you avoid any of the things that could be tempting to buy because they're cheaper. Maybe you can get them easier and you don't have to order. And then I want you to learn more about why it's important with Young Living and kind of how you can know thy farmer, because that is something that is super fun. We have the Seed to Seal website that's been scrolling back there that you can look at later on. But with Young Living, we actually own and operate our own farms, or we have partner farms where we oversee their operations and their distillation process. And I love this because the website's called seedtoseal.com. You can go there and check it out. And what we do is from literally the seed process, we know it's really important to know where something comes from. I mean, think about the process of gestation and a baby. So like knowing the seed and at the very, very beginning of the seed, how it actually goes through the whole entire formulation process until it actually comes up and it sprouts all the way until with distillation, where we actually cook the plant material down. So that whole entire process is overseen at all times by our quality assurance testing. We triple test each batch after it's distilled to make sure it meets our standards. And there have been cases that I have not heard about as in a rumor, heard about as in like I have personally heard from Young Living Corporate, where we have had to get rid of thousands and thousands of gallons of oil. They don't meet our standard, we're not going to use them, even if they smell absolutely the way they should. If they don't have the molecular properties of that oil that is supposed to do what it was designed to do with your body, we're not going to use it. They're not up to our standards. We hand weed our farms, which I think is pretty amazing. And we even have one oil that we get from the Melissa plant called Melissa. And this precious little flower, she can't even touch the ground. So literally, they have to cut it off. And when they're cutting it off, they're putting it onto big tarps, and they're taking it immediately to be distilled right then. So a very labor-intensive process, a beautiful process, because you think about the end result is how they make you feel and their therapeutic benefits. So with distillation, we also do that at a low pressure, low heat, and what that means is how many of y'all have ever used a microwave, what do you call it, like microwave, don't people do that? Microwave veggies?
Yeah, like a
in bags. I'm like, somebody help me. So a steamable where you're microwaving vegetables versus you steaming them over top of water on the stove, right? So those two processes look very similar, and actually for the most part, because we can really make vegetables look however we want it inside that bag before they're cooked, they look the same. But here's the deal: the way they were cooked, the radiation is going to take away some of the nutrients in the vegetable that you microwave, and you're going to preserve it if you steam it at a slow pace at a low temperature, where you have a lot of steam that's cooking it and not necessarily that zapping effect like the microwave. And so I just want you to picture that. And picture essential oils. We could cook essential oils. We could put them into a stainless steel giant chamber and pack the plant material in there. We could probably cook it in like 2 hours. But Young Living would never do that because they're looking to preserve those therapeutic benefits. And that's going to be a process that's going to take about 14 hours for the average oil. And so that's amazing to me. When I was mentioning Lacey and I, so we got to do this fall. We got to distill Idaho balsam fir and Idaho blue spruce. So we got to pick it and harvest it and cut down trees, learn how to cut down trees from our farm. Then we got to pack it in the chipper. Then we got to stomp on the plant material and pack it into the stainless steel chamber. Then we got to close the chamber. We got to watch it cook. We got to watch that, when we talk about the process, we got to watch it steam, then condensate, then actually go through pass-through where the oil passes through the water and the actual collection chamber. And then we got to bottle our oil.
I have some pictures if you guys want to see them when we're done.
And it's, so that process, there's nothing, but it's just convicting. I have to share it here because there's nothing about it that's not transparent, and everything about our process, you can go visit it. Every single person in here, you can go visit any Young Living farm, and you can see, touch, taste,
and do what we did.
Feel the oils. So I love it, and I not only know that I know thy farmer, but I know that thy farmer is beyond the organic process, and it's something that is amazing, and we just don't even pay enough for the oils. I mean, the more I experience that process, I'm like, this is crazy. I can even buy a bottle of lavender. It's crazy the amount of plant material that goes into making those. So don't want to take too long on that because it's, again, a little bit sciencey for some of y'all, but just really important to know that there's simply no other essential oil company that has the quality and pedigree as Young Living.
I have a completely unrelated question. Where's the bathroom?
It's right behind you,
Okay, thank you.
in between those two doors. That was funny. You look so nervous. I was like, what's she going to say? All right. So this is just another fun disclaimer. And I say that because it's just important for us to all know it. So the FDA has labeling rules for dietary supplements and products that are not dietary, like cosmetic. They prefer to see these as separate labels, and that's really, really important to know. That's a newer thing for us as a company. Young Living is a 27-year-old company. We are a billion-dollar company, and we are the world's leader of essential oils and supplements. And we are the only American-owned essential oil company that has farms that we actually own. So, I mean, there's just all kinds of fun stuff that I don't even think it's necessary to know if you know the process, but I love being able to say that because I'm like, it's crazy to me that I get to be part of that, and still, you know, still it's not every home in the world. Like, I think every home in the world should have essential oils, and that's our mission, but we don't yet. So we have a lot more work to do as far as education and helping people see. So with that primary usage label, you're going to find that we're going to talk some about using oils as a dietary supplement and using oils for aromatic or topical use. And what that means is the actual oil in the bottle is the same. Horror. So the oil is the same that's in the bottle, but with that primary usage, guys, it is a really confusing thing for our government to see that someone uses it in 18 different ways and they don't understand what it is, like where it would actually go if it was in a brick and mortar store. So for you, for your own purpose, you just need to know that they're the same and that there's two labels, and you can choose to buy both. You can choose to buy one or the other, and whatever it is that you do in your own home is up to you as far as how you use that oil. So just to keep it simple, that's what we had to do with labeling, and we'll go through that today. And please note there's always a partner oil, Lemon Vitality, and then there's a lemon. So I'm going to let Lacey talk. I'm trying so hard to not talk forever. So I'm going to let Lacey go through topical usage, and then I flash back before she does this, and I love it. There's 60,000 rose blossoms, like the entire blossom, that go into making 1 ounce of rose oil. So if anyone's ever liked getting a dozen roses, picture getting 60,000 roses. For real.
That might be overkill.
60,000 roses. That's how much it takes to make 1 ounce. 1 ounce of oil. So pretty cool. So Lacey, I'll let you go ahead and talk about how to use them topically.
So there are 3 different ways that you can use all of your essential oils. And the first one I'll talk about is aromatically, because you're all doing it right now. And you might have known, or maybe you don't, I don't know. So right here is the diffuser, and that is a great way to do it aromatically, or you can really just open up a bottle and you can just smell it. So really, essentially, you can affect your body without even using your oil, which is very, very cool. But if you're going to use it, you just stick it in the diffuser with some water, fill it up with water, and you add your oils, and you're just going to push the button and turn it on. And you're going to be breathing that in, and it's going to reach your brain in seconds and affect the limbic system of your brain, which is what controls our mood and emotion. So that is pretty amazing stuff. So aromatically, you can also we do something called tenting, where we'll boil water and we will add the essential oil after it has been removed from the heat. And you can lean over and actually breathe in the steam from the boiling water, which is super great for respiratory, just the hot steam. But you can add oils to it and make it extra effective. You can also do your oils topically. So what that's going to be is you're going to be putting them right onto your skin. There's actually 2 different ways that you are going to do that. So you can do what is called neat, which is just putting the oil right to the skin. Or you can dilute it with a carrier oil. So you probably all have carrier oils at home. It's going to be any type of fatty oil. Olive oil, coconut oil, grapeseed oil, whatever your skin type likes, whatever kind of carrier oil you like the best, you can use it. And what you would do is you would mix the carrier oil with the essential oil, and then you would apply it to the skin. So that is going to actually get a longer lasting effect for you because it's going to slow down how quickly the essential oil absorbs into your skin, because the fatty oil has larger molecules that stay on your skin longer. So it keeps the essential oil there longer, so you get a little bit longer effects that way. And I always say dilute on children and dilute if you're just starting out, if you're not sure what's going on. I would always say start with diluting. And third, you can ingest your oils. So we have our whole vitality line for ingesting your oils. You can do that in so many ways. You can bake. Amanda has brought in some peppermint brownies, if you guys try them, that she used the oils for. You can bake with them. You can make coffee creamer with them. You can cook with them. Anything you want to do with them. You can add them to your coffee, you can add them to your water, tea. You can also do empty veggie capsules that Young Living has, or Anywhere has empty vegetable capsules. You can use a carrier oil still, add your essential oil to the capsule, you can put the lid on and you can take it that way. If maybe you don't like the taste of it, I can drop some right under my tongue if I need to, but veggie capsules are super easy to take them in that way also. And also topically, the bottoms of the feet are a good place to do it. Because they contain the most pores of anywhere else on your body, and I always like doing that if I don't like the smell of a particular oil. The bottoms of the feet is great for kids, and it's just really convenient to have a roller. Just roll it on the feet and you can go, and it's so easy and super effective. So, did I miss anything?
Yeah, so just thinking through the ways to use them, I always think that this is possibly my favorite part. We get to talk about what comes in the premium starter kit. So as I mentioned already, when you get your kit, just using it, you want to know how to use each one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through really briefly a few uses for each oil, and whoever brought you here will make sure that you're hooked up with some cool resources to have on using each one of the oils once you get them in your home. And then I will just tell everybody there's probably 500 uses for each oil. So we're going to go through a couple so that you can at least have a couple in your head. But please know that there's a huge wealth of information and uses once you get them going. So now Lacey's going to go through and we'll pass them around. So Bob, come over here so you can be also closer. Yeah. And then I'll make sure we get them all passed around the room. So smell it, experience it. What I would caution you not to do is you probably don't want to dump it on your body because if you're not used to using essential oils and you use 10, that's a lot. That's a lot. I say that now because I had someone do that once. And she was like, "There's a lot happening." I was like, there's a lot happening in your body." You know what I mean? Oh yeah, there you go. So don't do that. Yeah, Sarah usually can be in the video.
Yeah. Do we want? So we're gonna pass around lavender. You can probably do the lid too, huh? You can do both.
Oh yeah.
So lavender is awesome for all things skin. It is a super great one, and you probably are all super familiar with it because of how calming it can be if it is, you know, a real lavender and not synthetic lavender. You might smell the difference right away when you smell this versus something else lavender that you might have. We love lavender with some Epsom salts in the bathtub before bed for our kids, or even just a super easy spray bottle, a pinch of salt, some lavender essential oil and water, and you have a spray that is great for your pillow or linens or what have you. We also like it in our DIY skin, like a skin moisturizer for our face because our skin loves lavender. Mm-hmm. Yes. You want to do? What do they got?
True story.
I also love to use lavender. I like that it helps with muscle stamina. So it's one that I like to use post-workout a lot because it's not going to make you sleepy if you're not actually ready for sleep. It's an adaptogenic molecule that's in lavender. So when you use it, it's not going to make, or y'all follow me, it's going to do what your body needs it to do at that exact moment, which is super amazing. So I like to use it after a workout a lot just to increase muscle stamina and recovery.
It's also very mild, so a lot of people can use it neat, and it's great for, good one for kids.
Yeah. I keep it with me in case my kids, you know, need some stuff that they might have sometimes when they run into things or over things.
Or when
Do
mommy
you
does
use the
that.
lavender after workout? Do you use it in healing, or do you?
Oh, I apply it. That's what I say. I apply it right on the muscles. All right. You want lemon?
Sure.
Just keep pulling with it so we don't miss them.
So lemon is probably one of my favorites. So all of lemon, as well as all the citrus oils, are actually distilled from the rind. So the lemon or any other citrus oils, they're not going to be acidic. They are great. Lemon Vitality tastes amazing in a glass of water or tea. I love doing a thieves and lemon tea. We'll talk about thieves in a little bit, which is amazing. We just had some cookies today made with some lemon. Yes. Baking with lemon. We love doing like garlic, lemon, green beans from our garden. We do fresh garlic and some lemon oil on that. And lemon is super great because it contains something called limonene. And what that does is it's really great at digesting petrochemicals. So when Ashley talked earlier about how the essential oils work on that cellular level in your body, and you have, those receptors that are clogged with stuff that you don't want, what is lemon going to do when it covers your cells? It's going to help digest that stuff that is built up on the cells. It is awesome at that. And we should have brought a balloon because it's super fun.
Yeah.
You can do it at home when you get your starter kit. If you blow up a balloon and tie it off, put a drop of lemon on it, and it will pop like in 2 seconds, which is cool because what is like a latex balloon? Latex is petrochemical, and it just digests and boom. So that's a fun little thing that you can show your friends when you get your starter kit. And I don't know about you, but I always want to be detoxing my body and getting rid of petrochemicals. So I want all the limonene
Yes.
all the time.
And peppermint?
Sure.
No matter how many times I smell the oils, every single time, I mean, I've probably taught hundreds of classes, and I still always am like, I just love them.
So Peppermint Vitality is super refreshing. I love it. I didn't love it when I first got it, but it grew on me a lot. I really like it. So you can try it out in the brownies, like I said, that Amanda made. I love it for post workout. It's really great at opening up the airways and just making me feel like I can breathe a whole lot easier. I love doing a combination with peppermint and lemon that we discussed and lavender that we just discussed. The three together go amazing in a roll-on or in the diffuser. It's great.
Yeah.
So,
I tend to use that a lot in the spring.
yes.
And I like to cook with peppermint.
Yes.
And peppermint truffles, or I know you already mentioned peppermint brownies, but I want you to think about the wide array of peppermint things that you can actually use as flavoring. And extracts, usually 90% of what's in an extract is alcohol based, so you want to ditch that extract and use the peppermint flavored. Instead of peppermint flavor, you use the actual peppermint oil, which is pretty awesome to do.
And if you think like peppermint, you don't think candy cane because it's not that. It's peppermint, and that's how it should be. So it tastes really great.
And being hot.
Yes.
Sorry, I keep energy.
Yes,
I can't
no.
help it. When you're hot in the summer, so a
All
lot
my
of times.
kids feel really hot.
Yeah, when anyone's hot for any reason, and we know that. There we go. So what I would encourage you to do is have a glass of water. So this is the Lemon Vitality. So the non-vitality version of lemon would be great to make a body spray or put on the back of your neck. But the Lemon Vitality, you can add it to water, and it's just great for that natural cooling in your water. So it is an awesome oil. We'll choose next.
Frankincense.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've probably heard it. If you have never used essential oils or learned about them in your entire life, you very well may have heard of frankincense. So frankincense was a gift to baby Jesus when he was born, and during that time, that was like more important than gold or money or anything ever. So think about that. Like it's that important to the people of like other countries still. It's still more important than gold and money. So just think about that. So frankincense,
I can smell it from here.
we
So
put
good.
it on us, frankincense vitality in us, every day, every single day. What is your favorite use for it?
So I have talked about. I must miss my husband. He's probably watching and laughing. But no, because he uses stuff like the way he uses oils is just very different than me. I'm saying because he just walks by and grabs stuff and uses it really quickly. So he actually ingests about 5 to 10 drops of frankincense vitality every day, just because it's great for overall health of your body systems, all your systems. If you want to just Google frankincense, you'll get to learn all kinds of amazing stuff about really what it does therapeutically, but also our favorite use really is just for that occasional feeling of stress or that occasional anxiety. I really like to use frankincense vitality, a drop under my tongue, or frankincense just on my chest or cupping it in my hands and inhaling it. Same thing with my kids, just cupping it in my hands, getting them to inhale it. Sometimes I actually fling it on them. I'm so sorry. If anybody else has Lacey and I have, our kids are like almost the same age, but I have a 5, a 4, and a 2-year-old, and there's just a lot of times when I want to dump the bottle on them, but it's an oil that's pretty valuable in our household. It's a pretty valuable oil, so I don't use it all at one time impulsively, but I just do like to use it topically on us a lot. And then it's also another one that's great for skin. It actually has a natural tightening effect on your skin. So the first use, before I really knew about the therapeutic benefits of it, I was just using it like for wrinkles, which is amazing. But I mean, when you really realize that when you're putting it on your face, it's getting in your body, and you're getting all those benefits, it's an awesome one to use. So you can use that neat or with, I like to add it to my Art Light Moisturizer from Young Living, and it's a great way to do that. I get that on ER every month. We'll mention a little bit more about ER, but I just love to add it to my Young Living skincare products.
Copaiba.
Oh, say it again.
Copaiba.
Yes. Everybody has a hard time saying this oil.
So we love Copaiba in our house. So do you want to talk about beta-caryophyllene?
You already said it. So beta-caryophyllene, go ahead, try to write that down. Maybe you should record me saying it. Beta-caryophyllene. I just want you to Google it tonight because it'll be like hours of fun for you.
Yeah,
if you don't like science, you should just ignore what I'm saying. But because science, beta-caryophyllene is a great ingredient that I love. So I'm a runner, and I'm just being really honest about it. When you do any kind of sports like that, the older you get, the more wear and tear on your body. So Copaiba just really helps me to take it internally every day with helping things so that I am very comfortable during and after runs. And then with my kids, Copaiba Vitality has been a lifesaver because kids, it's amazing, kids get teeth in their mouth.
Yes,
like, did anybody know that? Because it's awful.
So it is a terrible nightmare.
It is the worst part of children.
Yes.
It's the worst part of children.
But Copaiba for my 3rd child, because I didn't have Copaiba for the other children, made teething not bad at all.
Yeah. So that, and then just having it in your body every
Like
day. So I really don't like friction in my body and my internal organs. So just, don't like friction. Love Copaiba. So it's a great partnership for me just to make sure I have it in my body every day. It's a mild woodsy taste. So like you can just put a drop on your tongue and it's very mild. I like to add a drop to my Ningxia Red. I don't like Copaiba in hot water to make a tea, but I have a lot of friends that do. It tastes like I'm chewing on a piece of wood for me. So I don't know if you're into that, but if you are, that's okay. I won't laugh at you. You can add honey to it. Maybe it'll make it a little better. Maybe it'll make it like honey coated.
Yeah.
Wood chips.
Thieves. We can talk all day about thieves.
Yeah, see, we're trying. Y'all see what's happening? I told you we'll tell you a few uses, and I'm up here lazy about ruining it.
It's fine. We can talk all day.
We won't.
We need a whole class on thieves. So thieves is a blend. I think we talked, all the other ones were singles. So like lemon came from what? A lemon. So thieves is a blend of different oils. And you're going to have cinnamon, clove, lemon, eucalyptus, and rosemary in our thieves blend. And it comes from a 15th century legend on robbers that went around robbing the dead, and they were spice traders that robbed the dead and the dying, yet they themselves never got ill during the time of the Black Plague. So why was that? In return for a lighter sentence, according to the legend, they disclosed their little concoction of spices and herbs that they had on them, and that is where we get what we put in our thieves blend. So we love thieves, especially coming up soon before you know it. If you have one's grandchildren or your own children going back to school, or maybe you're a teacher, your kids are going to start coming home, and it's going to be a whirlwind from there over the winter, right? So we don't want that to happen. So we put thieves on everything. We put it in our hand soap. We put it in our diffusers. We put it on their spines and the bottoms of their feet. They take it to school.
Yeah.
We have a whole thieves line of a household cleaner, which is amazing. And what else? All things thieves.
Wait, isn't someone going to win that?
Somebody is going to win that. Yeah.
How do they win that?
So you can win an entire bottle, which will clean your entire house for probably 8 months.
Or a year.
Maybe.
I don't really like to clean, so it lasts me a long time. I'm like...
So the first person who brought 3 people, I'm going to give it till what? Tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Whoever's here, who enrolls, gets 3 people started. That changes your change 3 people's lives, and you'll get this. The
Very
first person to do it. So that's plant-based. It's amazing. It'll clean your whole house. This is a concentrate. So 1 capful of this to a 32-ounce spray bottle filled with water cleans everything in your house.
Crazy.
Everything. Glass. Everything. The whole thing.
Toilets, high chairs, all of it.
Cars, campers, boats. You name it. Whatever you do.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Do you have anything else about these? So, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So just think, I want you to think about how you want to support your entire family, especially during certain seasons, and how thieves can do that. And it's amazing. So put in your hand soap, put it everywhere. You're going to want it all the time.
All the things.
It's good.
Yeah. Purification. So purification is another blend. So there's a lot of singles in the blend, 6 different oils. And this is really a great oil for all things smelly.
Yes.
So I have 3 sons, 2 dogs, a cat, and a husband. So things get stinky.
Yeah.
Same with you.
I know.
So-
I have like.
Thank goodness for purification. Stinky shoes, stinky houses, stinky cars, stinky sports bags. You name it. If it stinks, you can do put it on cotton balls, stick it in your car vent, stick it in a homemade spray. Make your own instead of using those very toxic, full of fragrance air fresheners, carpet fresheners, whatever you have. Make a spray that you can spray your whole house with. I spray my dog with our spray. Pinch of salt, purification, water, boom.
Yes.
You have a spray that will make your whole house smell amazing.
Yep, and I just love to use, so a little life hack, so to keep the outdoors annoyance free, I love to use purification. You can make your own candles from natural beeswax and then use purification, and we also like to take our diffuser and like put it out of our window and put it on our picnic table when we eat outside. So it's a great way to just keep that environment, and it's also a great one that it might sound strange, but purification, because it's great for all things stinky, it's great in anything laundry. And I know that you probably thought of that, but I meant we literally add it to our Thieves laundry soap in the washer, and then we put it on wool dryer balls in the dryer. We like things to smell fresh-ish and not like it has no smell. Does that make sense to everybody? And I also like that it's not only, when I'm diffusing purification, it's not like covering up the scent, it's actually eating the molecules that cause the scent. So there isn't anything else out there like that. So like we say like, just wrap your brain around like a stinky laundry and cat litter box. Those are things that people usually get so annoyed with. So it's actually going to eat those molecules, which is a totally different ballgame than you actually just covering it up.
Is that the enzyme-based product concept too? And they're kind of pet cleaning products.
That it eats them away.
Enzyme-based?
Like most of the ones that you mean like cleaning, like spraying on and cleaning. So I was thinking of diffusing. I'm like, I don't know about enzyme, but yes.
Yeah.
Like back out.
And yeah. So Panaway. So love Panaway. So the best way, I think, my favorite way to use Panaway is to dilute it because it is one of the oils that gives the starter kit its value. It is a little bit more expensive because of the oils that are in it, but it is an amazing oil to dilute and use to help support or to help muscles.
Yeah.
I love it, and diluting it really makes the effectiveness last much longer, like we talked about earlier. So I love it, like on my neck and shoulders. I used it on my lower back when I was pregnant. My son is growing too quick for his age, I guess. He complains that his legs hurt, so we like to massage his legs after baseball with diluted Panaway. And we like to mix this one with copaiba because we don't want any friction either. And applying and doing a nice rub that way is awesome.
Yes.
So peppermint, wintergreen, clove, and helichrysum are what is in the Panaway blend.
And helichrysum, we actually own the world supply of helichrysum. It's in Croatia, and it's such a cool thing about helichrysum because they actually poach helichrysum in Croatia because they know how valuable it is, for us. We don't do that. We have people that steal like drugs and guns. And no, it's not a political statement. I just meant in our country we wouldn't see where someone was stealing we wouldn't see it like that, where someone's stealing a plant that's an essential oil in the same way. So it's pretty amazing that Young Living is able to give that to us. And so that essential oil blend, because of that, it really helps with overall body discomfort in any scenario you can think of. I mean, for me, I'll be using it tonight because y'all might laugh at me, but like these are just wedges and they're comfortable. They're Toms, but like my heels will hurt after I wear them because I'm a baby and I live in workout clothes. Like I took a shower like 20 minutes before we came here. I'm like, can I just wear this? And she's like, I guess you could. I'm like,
Why not? Nobody cares.
I don't know if y'all would take me seriously if I was like in my shorts and I had a baseball hat and I was like, hey, sure you're like, sure, maybe we would. Maybe. Anyway, okay, what's the next one?
So dye dyes. You want to do digest?
Yeah. Can I give them a warning about smelling it?
Sure.
So I wouldn't smell it. This is a targeted support oil that I use only, and Lacey's gonna tell us when you only use it.
Yeah.
And so for me, I don't like the smell of it. So like me passing around smelling it, I wouldn't be like, oh, the aroma of digest. It's so amazing.
It's amazing, all right.
Some people might like it. You probably like how it makes
I know
you
some
feel.
people who like it.
The way it makes your body feel.
Yes. So digest, it kind of like the name sounds, is a blend of all things that Digest Vitality is going to be really great at supporting your digestive system.
Yes.
So think about all the things that can happen with your digestive system. There's a lot of different things. No matter what those things are that are bothering your digestive system, taking Digest Vitality is going to help you, and you will get over the smell and the taste very quickly because you will be so thankful for how better you feel when you do it.
Yeah.
We dilute it for our kids in a roller ball, and we rub it in and around the belly button. I personally, when I need it, I put it in a veggie capsule with some peppermint, which is peppermint vitality, which is really good for digestion also. We mix the two in carrier oil in a veggie capsule, and we're good to go in like 20 minutes.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
We use it when we're traveling just because there's little buddies that are usually like around when you travel overseas, and I don't want the little buddies to come home with me, so I just use Digest after every meal.
Yeah, and so I always, too, when I talk about Digest like changed my 4-year-old son's life. So we like to share a little bit about it. He had undiagnosed, to this day, digestive issues, and I was lucky enough to be introduced to Young Living, and it was specifically for that oil and Ninja Red, which we'll touch on. But using Digest, he went from not being able to use the restroom every 12 days maybe, crying in agony in the corner of our house. Looking back, we realized he had issues from birth, but it was about 2 years of a struggle with him. And when we introduced our household to Digest and other oils and Ninja Red, within 8 months, he was out of CHOP, potty trained, and feeling amazing within 8 months. It's crazy to this day. So he still drinks his Ninja Red, and he asks for his Digest when he needs it, but Digest is amazing. We love Digest. RC?
Yeah.
Okay. So RC is another big blend: cypress, spruce, myrtle, marjoram, pine, lavender, peppermint, and all 3 different species of the eucalyptus plant. And RC makes me breathe so much better. So I love it in the diffuser. I love it with thieves and lavender, especially in the winter. We use that a lot for the kids. I love tenting with it too, like I talked about, because it just really, it makes me feel like I can breathe so much better. I love it.
I love to use it on my chest before I work out, especially in the winter. I love the way it makes me feel in a bath with Epsom salt. It's one of those ones that has a spa-like aroma and a spa-like quality. So I think once you smell it, and you just can imagine using it. It's also great. I just sometimes, if I actually plan before I take a shower, I like to put a couple drops of it in the bottom of the shower. It's a great aroma. It's like a steam shower, only we don't have a steam shower. If you do, you should definitely use it in there. But it's a great one.
My kids love it mixed with coconut oil. We just whip coconut oil in our mixer, then stir in RC, and we do a chest rub for the wintertime to the bottoms of their feet before we put their socks on, or right on their chest. It's great. Smells amazing.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Yeah. So Stress Away is next. So Stress Away is a bonus oil in the premium starter kit.
Woo!
So it's basically a freebie. It's like, here, reduce your stress.
I diffuse that every night.
You diffuse it? Yeah.
Lavender.
Oh, I like it with lavender.
So it's a blend of different oils that have a really great calming effect. A lot of people wear it as a perfume. I think it smells great. I love it on my wrists. I like to put a lot of it on myself before I take 3 kids under 6 to the grocery store.
It's probably smart.
Yeah.
A
lot of it.
I used to wear it in my diffuser necklace when I was teaching. So when I first started using and sharing the oils, I was teaching. And I would just use it a lot before I would speak. I taught teenagers. I taught high school seniors, so I would pray and smell my
Stress away.
My stress away. I was trying to say my locket. I was like, I don't have one on, so it's not working. I'm like, I smell this. Anyway.
Love Stress Away. Smells great.
It's more gender neutral too, is what I like about it. That's one my husband's always used. It was like the first one he really loved, and he would carry it in his pocket to work. And a lot of men tend to like it because they like the way it makes them feel, and it smells like a margarita on a beach, which. I don't really care if you don't like margaritas. Like that image just looks fun, right? If you just picture someone sitting on the beach with like an umbrella drink, looks fun.
That's what it smells like.
Yes.
Puts me there.
It puts me
It does.
All right, so that includes our everyday oils kit. That's 11 powerhouse oils that make up the kit. And that doesn't, again, touch on on all of the uses at all inside of those oils. But I do want to ask you a couple things for you to think about. I want to ask you first if you can imagine yourself using 5 or more of these oils. And you don't have to raise your hand, you can, but I just want you to picture in your head if you can picture yourself using 5 or more of these oils in there. And that's just something important at this point, because I want to make sure that you're like, okay, so we're talking about these oils, and we're going to mention a few more things that come in the kit, and then we'll make sure we know how to get everybody started and how to move on from there. So the other thing with this is that you will see that after 2 weeks, when you use them, what you'll do is you don't want to use them all at one time. You're going to slowly integrate. I am not systematic when I use things, so I'm not like 1 oil one day and then 2 oils the next day. So that's not what I do, but for me, I just make sure that like when I'm introducing a new oil, I'm using it and I'm understanding the other ways I could use it. So like I would read, and the little, we have online, there's a usage guide from Oil Revolution Designs. We might will share that and make sure that you're going through and looking at those primary uses, and then going through and maybe looking at another resource, maybe watching an online video, just to make sure
we have some resources here today. There's apps that we can hook you up with too.
Yeah, just to make sure you know how to use it so that you're not leaving any in the box. So in about 2 week time period, it's always the encouragement. We want to make sure within 2 weeks you've experienced all the oils that you did get in that beautiful box. I'm going to let Lacey talk about something else that comes in here briefly. She mentioned Ningxia Red, so I'll just let her say a couple ways her family uses it.
So you get 2 little packets of this in the starter kit, and I always say when your starter kit comes in the mail, throw these right in the refrigerator. I like it the best when it's cold. So this also comes in large bottles that you can get, and it's made from the Ningxia wolfberry, so that's where it gets this kind of funny name. So the wolfberry grows in the Ningxia part of China, and it is basically the cousin type of thing to a goji berry, except for it has way more protein and way more antioxidants. Like blows goji berries out of the water. There's other stuff in here like blueberries and all sorts of stuff. It's also infused with essential oils. And my whole family drinks this, especially my son, every single day. You only need about 1 ounce. This is 2 ounces, so when you get your kit, you could like pour all 4 in and take 1 ounce a day for 4 days and see how it makes you feel. But I can definitely tell when I don't drink my Ningxia every day. It makes me feel amazing. I love adding my oils to it, certain ones that I might feel like I may be needing. But this is just an amazing, amazing dietary supplement to maybe fill in some holes from maybe you don't like certain green things every day, and just filling in those gaps from your diet, because diet is so important, and this is a great way to fill in those holes. So we love it.
I love it for natural energy support.
Yes.
That might sound silly because I am an upbeat person that likes to, I don't require much sleep, I like to be active, but for me the afternoon, like I truly would, if I could rearrange my day, I would love to take an afternoon nap. And so when I feel like I'm tired in the afternoon, I take my Ningxia Red then. And then my kids as well do it just like Lacey, so it's a fun thing. And it was cool to see her kids this morning. She has a cup and she's like shot, and they like take it and she like gives the next one. It was like really funny because it was cute to see how used to it they were.
Down the line, yeah.
So another thing that comes in your kit, just mentioning this briefly, I don't want to take forever and go through each one, but you do get these little cards. You get 10 of them and 10 sample bottles. So if maybe you have a neighbor that you see is gardening and having a hard time getting up from that position, and maybe you're like, hey, I should go give her some pan away. Well, you don't have to know what you're talking about. You could just give her this card that's like, hey, here's something I think you could use, and it tells her how to use it. And I love that because it's a tool for us that it really is. If you're someone that likes to help others, it's a great tool for you to not feel like you have to actually know a lot about it, but you could be helping them. If you don't want to do this, that's okay. You could take these sample bottles and make yourself a travel kit to take with you either just in your purse or on the go or to work. But you do want to make sure you use those because they're a great thing that you don't have to carry all those bottles with you everywhere you go, or you don't have to share. When I first got my starter kit, I was like sharing. I was trying to share with people, and I was like, hey, here's some thieves. Just use 8 drops, and can you give that back to me tomorrow? Like, I didn't even know what to say to share it. So you get these in there, and then you do also get a few 1 drop, they're 2 drop samples. I like to actually travel with these because I feel like if I give them to someone as a sample, it's super stingy. I'm like, here's 1 drop of oil, friend. I really care about you. But it's great to have when you're traveling. It is, yeah. It's
I can smell it.
It's like kind of nice, but they're like, I tried to use the lavender last night and I couldn't get it out. And they're like, well, that's all that was in there. It was just that 1 drop. It's on your hand now. So with this, I like to take them with me. So if I'm traveling, especially on a plane or somewhere where I don't want to have a bunch of stuff, it's great to have on there. I know if sometimes people might need to smell peppermint when they're at high altitude, so it's great to just have a packet. All you need to do is really smell it. And then you do also get a roll-on fitment, which is just this little roller top and a little screw-on cap. I pop this on my stress away.
Absolutely.
Because I like to roll it on all day long. But you can put it on whatever oil you want to, and you can actually even take this and put it on an empty bottle once you use it and add some carrier oil and make a blend yourself. All right, so couple not so fun statistics, but I love to go into this before we talk because I want to make sure you realize the weight of what we're talking about as far as your body and your health and getting started with these and living a chemical-free lifestyle. It is incremental, and I always love because now some of the stuff that I still get irritated with in my house are like mostly hair products where like I'll make my own for a while and then I get irritated and I'm like I need to buy mousse. I'm just telling y'all, keeping it real, because a few years ago, it wasn't that. A few years ago, it was that we had multiple cleaning products and we didn't know about Thieves Household Cleaner yet. And I, for my talk about beauty routine, I didn't know what to use that was non-toxic, so I would go back and forth between basically not using a moisturizer and not using like a face wash and using just Castile soap to like say, like, screw it, I'm gonna go to Target. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff is where probably a lot of you are, and you need to go through and be incremental. It's not gonna be, let me throw away everything in my house at one time. The average American home has 67 toxic products in it, and if it was the average American home, and we were just talking about women, it'd be well over 100 because of beauty care, because of those products that you have in your home. And there are actually 2,983 ingredients that are in those toxic products. 884 toxic ingredients are in our homes out of those ingredients. So there could possibly be almost 3,000, and all of our homes have, like 900 of them at home. So 314 of them cause biological mutations. 218 of them cause reproductive problems, and 778 are toxic to the human body. And 146 are known to cause cancer tumors, and they're all allowed in our products in the U.S. And these are all banned in other countries, and that data is from the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health Studies. So that's not fear-mongering. That's like, we got to know the truth as women, because that endocrine disruption, we don't want that. I mean, that is something that for us is a real problem in comparison to men. We have a lot more problems with, reproductive health in general and those organ systems and what happens. So super fun of this too. 1,620 people die every day from cancer, and 1 in 3 cases are directly related to environmental factors such as poor diet and environmental toxin exposure. So for me, and I know for Lacey, and I know for at least 20 of y'all that are in here right now, we have all made the decision to be the gatekeepers of our home and to be the people that are in charge of what goes in and goes out. And I am not going to be fearful of the things I use, but I'm going to do my best to educate myself, educate my family, and be a force for good in the world. I can tell other people about it. And I want to invite everybody to be part of that journey and to take the first step tonight if you haven't already. And then from there, every single month to just pick a new area and say, I'm going to do household cleaning products. The next month, I'm going to go through and I'm going to get pet care under control. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to look at what I use outside in my gardening. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to make sure every single thing that's in my bathroom is cleaned up. I'm going to help my kids get, great products to bathe in and lotion. So really making that list and working through it. We have a program called Essential Rewards. It's similar to Birchbox or Stitch Fix, only it's with products that you actually need every month, where you get to switch. Well, I mean, that's great stuff, but I meant you actually will be getting like your shampoo in it and your bottle purification to replace it, to diffuse, and your just overall wellness support. But when you get that every month, you can change the date of your order and the contents of your monthly box, and Young Living gives you back 10% the first month you do it, and products and product credit to use later on. And all the way after 13 months, I get back 25%. So if I, spend $200, I get $50 back on products to use later on. So something just to think about, because you want to think about financial ways to be smart. I know for me, I'm a pretty thrifty mom. I like to save. As much as I can, and it's all about replacement buying with what we're talking about. It's not adding on expenses and things to your home, but replacing things you already have. And there are 100,000 chemicals that are on the market today, and they have been grandfathered in after this 1976 Toxic Substance Control Act that just kind of let them slide under the rug and be grandfathered in. So even when you look on the market today, things that are labeled as natural, that's not something that's really regulated at all. It can say 99.9% natural. That was my favorite. With baby products, I was like, man, I'm buying great stuff. It's 99% natural. And then I would read the back and it would say fragrance. And so that word fragrance can house up to 3,000 chemicals in that one word
that they don't have to list.
Yeah. It could be
that do all of the things that we talked about before, which is crazy.
And it's a trade secret.
Yeah.
So that's under, because it can be a trade secret with
even though they know how harmful it is.
Woo! So, what happens when your body's chemically overloaded? It can cause skin issues,
Big one.
unexplained pain, unexplained fatigue, unexplained irritability, multiple doctor's visits, and you can't figure out what's going on. So I know for us, this has been a battle with my husband and with lots of people we know. Stress and fear, so things that happen to us mentally when our bodies are chemically overloaded that we end up covering up, trying to work through, spending lots of money on in our country. So let's take it one day at a time, and that is why I'm presenting this to you right now at the end, is I want you to not leave overwhelmed, but empowered and excited about what you can do, because there are lots of things that you can't do and can't control in our world, but I will tell you tonight, it's so much fun to say, like, I can control this, and then next month I'm going to work on controlling this. And what I mean by control is take charge of, not control as in manipulate. So let's go ahead, and we're going to have some fun in the next few minutes. We have 2 stations set up where you get to come and get the premium starter kit. It's $160, and you get a diffuser with it. You can choose from these 2, and that's important to know because I love the look of this one, and that's just my personal preference. I know a lot of people that like the sleek look of the Dewdrop. This is the home diffuser. This one has an intermittent setting over here, and they both last about 6 to 8 hours, depends on if you clean it or not.
Yeah.
I just always say that because if you don't clean it, right, it lasts me like 6 hours if I actually clean the bottom of it. It lasts me a little bit longer. And so what you're going to do is the way our business model works of Young Living is it is referral based. We are a network marketing company, and I'm so proud of that because that allows people to build residual income, work from home, do all kinds of awesome stuff that we'll talk about in about 30 minutes at our business class. But what it allows you to do is the person who brought you, that I asked at the beginning of the class for you to thank, because they obviously love you and they took the time to bring you here, they get to come and help you be on this journey. So they get to come and help you become a member tonight. So you're going to go to one of those 2 computers. We'll help you. I'm going to be in the back doing makeup matching, so color matching for the foundation. And I know Lacey and probably Amanda will be up here to help people that want to sign up right now. What I mean by that is everyone who's not already a member, we'll go ahead and help you get started. And the first person to get started tonight actually is going to get 3 oils, 2 little containers, and a fun little basket as a raffle. Yeah. And then everyone also will get a free oil from up there when you sign up, just because I love the Pennsylvania team and I don't get to be here all the time. So I just realized that we're doing this live, and I'm like, everybody from home is probably like, I want a free oil. Sorry, friends. Invite me to your state.
Do you just want to tell them about how awesome the new makeup is? Because makeup is brand new as of June, and what it doesn't have in it.
Oh yeah, so the makeup is bismuth free with arrowroot powder is what it's based off of. So arrowroot powder, so like Lacey was sunburnt. I just love this.
I still kind of am.
Oh no, she was like purple yesterday. Like when I got to her house, I was like, what is wrong with your face? I mean, I wasn't me, I don't see her every day.
Because when you turn 30, you should wear sunscreen.
you should. Young Living has a mineral sunscreen, and you should all wear it, and you should get it in your Essential Rewards box so you can earn points back. Are y'all getting me with that? I want to make sure I like that makes sense.
I put it on my kids, and they look great.
So
I should have.
So Lacey, with the makeup, it actually really helped calm her skin down because it has skin soothing agents. And the mica that's in the makeup is actually sourced in the United States, which means there's no child labor or sex trafficking victims that were used to make your fun makeup that y'all, if you buy mineral makeup, they're usually from Indonesian countries where they actually have 5-year-olds probably making your makeup. Super fun, right? You're like, geez, Ashley, talking about cancer, talking about child slavery.
You're gonna leave here so upset.
You're gonna leave here so uplifted. All right. So the other thing with the kit is when you do go on there and get your kit, I want to make sure that's clear. If you're interested in Essential Rewards, you can do that enrollment, or you can do it anytime. There's not like a special period where you can and cannot do that. But I want to make sure you get started with that. The person who brought you can give you some more details about that so that we can walk through the process together. But I'm so excited, and welcome to all of you guys tonight for taking this step and being part of our team. It is something that's really important to me, is creating communities. And so even though I'm laughing saying I don't live in Pennsylvania, yes, I don't live here, but it's not about that. It's about, like, our team has, over 5,000 people that are doing this where they live and are getting people together on the tables. It just happens to be all women tonight, so I keep saying women, that are sitting around kitchen tables talking about the same stuff, using a script, saying, like, I learned this, let's look this up online, like, this is crazy, I don't want this stuff in my body anymore. What can we do about it together?
So
and making takes and coming together. So I thank you tonight, and I know some of you guys took a lot to get here. A lot of a journey, a lot of children getting covered, and for a lot of you, it was